says that.
What do you think were your earliest influences towards experiential education way back?
Well, first, Tom, thanks for interviewing me. I appreciate it, and I've always thought of you as a real leader in our field, and
Oh, thank
you've
you.
proven that over time, but not just time, good time. And thank you very much for doing this, because
Well, thank you for that.
uh, my early roots are Outward Bound.
Yeah.
In 1968, I was graduated high school, and I was going to Vietnam or I was going to Outward Bound, and I made the right choice, I thought, and that was powerful. Then, 1973, I met Joe Nold and from Colorado Outward Bound, and he told me I should be an instructor, and I was teaching at a university, Towson State University, and I said, you mean just go out for 28 days? I said, love to. So I did that in the summer for a lot of years, and then
So your degree was actually in counseling then?
my degree was in education. I was an educator and special education, and I thought I thought the special ed masters was really good for me because you work with people with different abilities, and it really helps you with your grit and perseverance. Because this is a group of people that you have to have a lot of grit and perseverance and really stay with them. And there's a lot of repetition, redundancy going on in the classroom. But I think that's a learning process too,
Oh, yeah.
as good as experiential learning. So I was working, Outward Bound and Dartmouth Outward Bound. I was running my own programs at Towson University. I was doing mostly adventure, taking people to Ecuador for the volcanoes, Mexico, and then I took people to Denali as their third experience in my program. And then I worked with Rita Yerkes and Mike Gass, so I had great people
You
to
had a
learn
lot of
from.
people, yeah.
Yeah, I was really lucky. I was a lucky guy.
What most appealed to you about doing that at the time, and what was it that really turned you on?
Well, for me, what turned me on was I was from the city. I was from Philadelphia, a rough part of the city, and I never had any experiences in the outdoors. And the first Outward Bound experience just, it just talked to me. I mean, it was just talking to me. It was saying, "This is what you're going to do,"
Really?
and I just jumped on it, and I never let go of it. And to this day, it's still the best thing I've ever done. It was the best decision I ever made to pursue experiential learning and development, and then contributing back. As I got older, I realized, God, I've been so privileged as this white privileged male, middle class American. I got to give back, and so that's what all I do now is I give back. I'm retired, and I work for free. And principals call me up, and staff workshops. I work with kids, getting them into college, working on their ACT, SATs, and their college essay is the big one. And then I get the money for them to go to college. That's the big thing I'm doing now, presently.
Yeah. What overall is most did you like about experiential ed? I mean, what is the significant factor for you?
For me, experiential ed is really a freeing experience. It's a freedom to choose. And there's not so many rules, procedures, guidelines, and policies. I mean,
Getting to be more.
You really can create your own model.
Yeah.
You really can. You can be who you are, and you're always working on your best. And as Covey said, the enemy of the best is the good. So I didn't want to be a good teacher. I wanted to be the best teacher. And I had Dr. Dick Kraft from CU Boulder helped. Mike Gass, I hired him for his first job in 1979.
Did you?
And look at Mike, world beater. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, we share a room every year. He pays for my room. Well, University of New Hampshire pays for my room, but we keep that a secret. There's a spirit component, a spiritual component in experiential education, which is hard to describe, but all I can say is when the Spirit says move, you move with the Spirit. And that's pretty much what I've tried to do.
Kind of answering the next question, which is what keeps you coming back to AEE?
Well, I feel I want to contribute to younger people's experiences. I want to be a resource for people. I want to model the way for people. I want to teach them how to show up and be present and be connected, and that you have to work really hard to be a good experiential educator. I mean, it's a hard job. I mean, because you're trying to give feedback, powerful, positive feedback to your students. You're teaching them about empathy, nonviolent communication, and you're rock climbing. You're doing all this stuff constantly.
And you're running a program, and you got to market it, and you got to do all the other stuff that's involved with it too.
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the part I probably don't do as well. Now I do it better because I've started 4 nonprofits in my lifetime, and all 4 of them are going very strong. So I feel good about that. And I took Kurt Hahn's advice, be a midwife to the process. I created them, I nurtured them, I loved them, and then I left. But all 4 of them I visit once a year, to see how everything's going and stuff.
What are the 4?
Genesee Valley Outdoor Learning Center was my first one in Parkton, Maryland, and now that's one of the biggest outdoor education program for 5th graders. It's huge. 7 zip lines, 5 pamper poles. I mean, it's very, very, they love that stuff. I try to get them back on the ground to do some of the harder work, but they like to be up high. That was my first one. Then West Pines Training Center. When I got out of the Peace Corps, I really got the sense of Peace Corps that I had to be a servant leader.
Where'd you go in the Peace Corps?
Papua New Guinea, and I taught English. And I identified people to be teachers, and then they sent them to Australia. So I had many roles, and I worked with the Peace Corps and the United Nations Developmental Program out of Geneva, Switzerland, who were real good. I learned a lot from them about community and how to create that and stuff. What I was told, the Peace Corps people told me, your first year, show up and shut up. Don't say anything. Let the people tell you what their needs are. And the word was lampoons, who were the wise men who I met with all the time. And finally, about a year into the program, they gave me the word. Okay, Craig, you can do it.
Yeah.
They just wanted to make sure I was, sincere and genuine, and I was credible, but really more genuine, I felt. Those were their words. Buy me talk one time, you buy you save, or get a talk belong me, and no lick something, big pella something. So there's Pidgin English, which I talked for 2 years, so that was fun.
What's been your biggest challenge in experiential ed?
Well, diversity, getting people of color in, and it's big. I only work with Latinos and Black students, and every once in a while there's a white kid that gets on the wrong bus and ends up at the school, but not too often. You usually have 1 or 2, that's the saddest I have about our profession, that I'm going to leave this profession. Well, I'm not leaving it till I'm 85. I mean, I'm going to 85, but that we haven't done the good work. And because we haven't done the good work, we've lost some very good people that are doing that work and stuff. And trying to bring equality to the cultures, not just diversity, but equality. I want Denver, which is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 in the cultures. I want us to all feel that we're equal to each other and we can learn from each other. So, that by far has been my. Nothing close to that. There's other things, but that's the saddest thing. I perseverate around it a lot. I cry around it. But I do the work. I work with these kids. These are the only kids I work with. I don't work with any white middle-class kids anymore. So.
And do you see a lot of them coming in as a result of that into the field?
Yeah, starting to come in.
Yeah,
they're just starting to come in. They're turned on. They're coming in on Play for Peace, which I helped co-founded, and it's exciting.
I just read your piece in Tom's book last week.
What's that?
I read your piece in Tom's book last week.
Oh, good. Oh, great. How was it?
I thought it was great.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we just wrote a book, microphone, and say the question again. I missed the question. Or was it?
Well, just overall now, what would you say just to anybody about experiential ed? What would you like us to know?
Yeah.
kind of last words?
Yeah, I think the thing that we have to with experiential, we need to really continue to research it and make sure that what we're doing really works, and then we'll get into the schools. But we have to have the research. Research is critical, and then we have to have the great facilitators. We need people that will look at us and say, "Wow, that was a magical experience." I mean, I have kids all the time for the last 38 years saying to me, "Craig, that's the best day I've ever had in school." They'll say that, and they just don't say that. Gang leaders and tough kids and stuff, and they say, you really cared about us. And that's what we learned in our research. If you care about somebody, their attendance is better, their grades are better, they don't get expelled, they're into student engagement, they do more extracurricular activities. So we really, really need to really love our kids. And we don't use the word love, just care.
Yeah.
Just caring.
I think we need great teaching. I really think that's what we're about.
Yeah. We need to go from good to great in the teaching area, and our schools aren't putting out good teacher ed people, so we need to get them here. We need to work with them here.
Yeah, we don't teach it as an art, I think.
It's not an art. It looks like a horrible science with a methodology and a philosophy and an ideology that's it just doesn't bring life into you. And experiential education, I tell people, it's just traditional education with a little bit of soul. That's all it is. We're just putting a little bit of life and soul into it, and that's what we do so well. I can get a group of 10 people, and in 10 minutes, I can have them love each other. No other profession does that. We have such a skill set, and we need to teach more people that skill set.
And you are great at that, by the way.
Thank you.
I've seen you do it.
Thank you. And I'm really working hard more at it. Yesterday, I worked as hard as I could for 8 hours for Play for Peace. And I think we got a lot of good people excited and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm really I told you my sad is sad, but my proudest proud is that I have a family that has supported me totally, and my brother and my sister have supported me financially when I was going through divorce, and just having people who love you whenever you have a problem. Just surround yourself with people that love you, like you love me, and that just makes it that it goes away. That internal oppression that you build up vanishes, and you really want to contribute more, and you want to basically just try. We're all just trying to be the best we can.
And you look good. Have you been feeling better, pretty much?
I'm in, as you can see, I'm in total pain right now, so I can't put on over my legs. I'm doing great. Yeah, I work out hard, and I have a lot of grit and perseverance around my rehab. And in 17 years, I was dancing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So I was standing up dancing. So that should tell you something. And I have a brother who's a neurologist, and he's helped me a lot. I go to UCLA for help, but I'm doing good. And Kurt Hunt said it: your disability is your opportunity. I had a mere flesh wound. I just broke my back. Big deal. And I have a wheelchair, but it's not me. It's just for mobility.
Yeah.
I am not that wheelchair.
No, more than anybody I know.
It's just to get around and stuff. And I'm going to. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to give my 100% when I come to these workshops and help people, young people, and I'm doing it because I have a need to do it. My need is to make life more wonderful for people, and if I can do that, I love to mess around with people. That's my favorite thing I do in this field, and it's probably the best thing I do. That's my job. We all have jobs. Your documentation of this is critical, and I feel blessed to be here right now with you.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to do it. Thanks a lot.